Let's look at this concept of leverage. When you talk about leverage, we are trying to say that you need to use more debt in order to increase your return on investment. Using more debt to increase the return on investment. So we can define leverage and say that it refers to the use of borrowed funds. It refers to the use of borrowed funds or debt to increase the potential return on investment. It refers to the use of borrowed fund or debt. It refers to the use of borrowed fund or debt to increase the potential return on investment. To increase the potential return on investment. And remember the ROI, return on investments. Using debt to increase the potential return on what? On investment. So at any given point, examiner tells you to define the same. Remember that it is the use of borrowed fund or debt to increase the potential of return on investment. Class, remember, under portfolio management, we said that we have return and also we have risk on the other side. On the other hand, we have risk. So the same case apply here since we are doing investment. We also have risk. So I'd like us also to remind ourselves about risk. What is risk? Risk, it is the uncertainty or variability of returns associated with an investment. Risk. So you can define risk as well. You say that it is uncertainty or variability of return associated with an investment. That is two definitions which are important to us. So we have said that it is uncertainty or variability of returns associated with an investment. So we have three forms of leverage, or leverage. Three forms. So we have three forms of leverage or leverage. Operating leverage. One is operating leverage. Operating leverage. We have number two, financing leverage. Number three, we have total leverage. So we start with the first one, which is operating leverage, and you say that it refers to the extent to which fixed cost. It refers to the extent to which fixed costs are present in a company capital structure or cost structure. It refers to the extent to which fixed costs are present in the company capital structure. Point number two, on the same. It measures the ratio of fixed cost to variable cost. It measures the ratio of fixed cost to variable cost. Very important. To measure the ratio of fixed cost to variable cost. It measures the ratio of fixed cost to variable cost. A higher operating leverage indicates that or means that a company has a higher proportion of fixed assets, because you can see if this is lower, this will be high. The ratio, when you look at the ratios, a higher operating leverage means that a company has a higher proportion of fixed asset. A higher proportion of what? Fixed asset. A higher proportion of fixed asset, which results in a greater impact on profitability, which results in a greater impact on profitability from changes in sales volume. From changes in what? From changes in sales volume. So it results to a higher profitability. It results to a higher profitability, or a greater impact on profitability from greater or from changes in sales volume. From changes in sales what? Volume. So there's a relationship between fixed cost, variable cost, and then sales volume. It is measured. The financial operating leverage. It is measured using the degree of operating leverage. It is measured using the degree of operating leverage. Degree of operating. It is measured using the degree of operating what? Leverage. So this one we call it DOL, degree of operating leverage. It is measured using the degree of operating leverage. It's measured using the degree of what? Operating leverage. It is calculated, you like to say, it is calculated as a percentage change in operating income. It is calculated as a percentage change in operating income, divided by the percentage change in sales, divided by the percentage change in sales, divided by the percentage change in sales. So that formula is written as follows. That formula is written as follows. That formula is written as follows. It is written as follows. So degree of operating leverage is given. DOL is given by formula percentage change in EBIT. Percentage change, remember that stands for change in EBIT. Divided by what? The percentage change in sales. That is what will give us what? The DOL, the degree of operating leverage. Degree of operating leverage. So class, we move to the next part. And the next part is the financing leverage. The first thing is to define. You say that it refers to the use of debt. It refers to the use of debt. Into bracket, financial instruments, to increase return on equity, Now, return on equity, we say this ROI. The use of debt, that is financial instrument, to increase return on equity. And then you continue to say that it involves using borrowed funds. To finance operation and investment with the aim of magnifying return to shareholder, or return to shareholders. I repeat, it involves using borrowed funds. To finance operation and investment with the aim of magnifying return to shareholders. We need, we're trying to encourage or to make sure that the return to shareholder are maximized. So it is measured by degree of financial leverage. It is measured by degree of financial leverage. Degree of financial It is measured by degree of financial what? Leverage. It is measured by degree of financial leverage, DFL. DFL is measured by a degree of financial leverage. So DFL class is given by the percentage change in earning per share divided by the percentage change in EBIT. Sometimes the EBIT, this can be earning before depreciation, interest and tax. Wakati mwingine inaweza kuwa earning before depreciation in interest and tax. So you can use either, And then we go to the last one, the total leverage, or the total leverage. You can just go to the last one, total leverage, and then we look at the exercise. Look at the exercise, total leverage. Total leverage is the bad one. So the bad one. So we say that under total leverage, it is a combined effect of both operating leverage and financial leverage. It is a combined effect. It is a combined effect of both the operating leverage, operating leverage. It is a combined effect of both operating leverage, and financing leverage. So we combine. In fact, when you get your DOL, you get your DFL, if you want to get the total leverage, you just multiply the two. Leverage on a company's earning. It is a combined effect of both operating leverage and financial leverage on a company what? On a company's earning. It measures the sensitivity. It is good to have this. It measures the sensitivity. It measures the sensitivity. It measures the sensitivity of earning per share to changes in sales. Of earning per share to changes in what? Changes in sales. So degree of financial this is total leverage or combined leverage. Sometimes it's called DCL, degree of combined leverage. Degree of combined. So ukipatana nayo hii combined leverage. So once you get also this DCL, degree of combined leverage, it's the same as the total leverage. So it is the formula is the total leverage or the degree of combined leverage is given by DOL times DFL. So if you want to get that, you just multiply what you get under the operating and what you get under the financial or financing. And class, that is it. So these leverage will always help the company to know its performance, and also the shareholder to know the increase in earning, all the time. So class, why can't we look at the question? There's a question that somebody shared. Somebody shared. We can look at that question. I think it was tested in August 2023. It was question number 5D. Question number 5D. So we can look at it. We can look at it. Question number 5 dog. Question number 5 dog. Let's look at that question. Let's look at that question about Penda. I hope all of us are there. Can you confirm whether you're there? Penda Limited. Penda Limited. Are we there? Are we there, class? Are we there? Just confirm. Confirm. We wrote it down just a bit. Please. I'm waiting for confirmation whether we're there. We look at that question. It was tested in August 2023. Question number 5. Is it C? Yes, 5C. We there. Can you confirm? Confirm for me. Just typing 5 for yes. Are we there? Question is in the group. Someone can as well share. So this is August 2023. Question number 5C. August 2023, question number 5C. So class, the question states that Penda Limited deals with laboratory accessories, dropper sales for 500 per piece, and has a variable cost equivalent to 50% of the selling price per piece of the dropper. The firm has a fixed operating cost of 500,000 and a fixed financing cost of 750,000. Further analysis of the firm reveals that if the firm's sales increase by 10%, the firm's earning before interest and taxes, that is EBIT, increase by 15%. And if the firm's EBIT increases by 10%, the firm's earning per share, EPS, increases by 12%. Calculate the following measures of leverage for the firm. The first one is a break-even quantity of sales in units, operating break-even quantity of sales in unit, degree of operating leverage, degree of financial leverage, and degree of total leverage. So class, we can start with the first one, but before then, let's analyze this. Let's analyze the information given by this examiner. In the first thing, I need to know what is my fixed cost. I also need to know what is my selling price. And the last one, I also need to know what is my variable cost. Now I want somebody to give me the fixed cost that you can identify. Somebody to give me the selling price, and somebody to tell me what is my variable cost. Fixed cost, I've been given 500,000. Gang is giving me 500,000. If I look at my question, I can see that they told me that fixed operating cost. This is a fixed operating cost. Fixed operating what? Cost. Fixed operating cost. We also have another cost there, fixed financing cost of 750,000. Thank you for identifying the fixed financing cost. So we have those two fixed costs. So that is the analysis number 1. Number 2, what is my selling price? Already I've been told it is a dropper sale for 500 per piece and has a variable cost of that, 50% of that. So 500. This is our what? This is our selling price. And then we told that the variable cost is 50% of the selling price, which is 500. See, this one will be 250. Now, class, if you want to compute the VP, the break-even point, the break-even point for quantity, let me just mention quantity there in units. Of course, quantity is calibrated in units. It will be simple. You need to take the fixed cost, you divide by the selling price minus variable cost. Very important formula for everyone to note. These are the formulas, small formula that you need to always remember. Now, this is a general one. We shall be picking the whole of our fixed cost. So, what's the total fixed cost, class? Somebody to give me the total fixed cost. Total fixed cost. They have not specified. So we pick this plus this. Total itakuwa ngapi? Somebody just give me the total fixed cost, because I need that. Of course, let me just put my 1250,000. So it will be 1250,000. I divide by 500 minus what? Minus 250. Plus this will give me what? 1250,000 divided by, this is 250. Ni units ngapi? The break-even quantity of sales in units. Itakuwa ngapi? 5,000 units. 5,000 units. 5,000. It is always good to indicate that. 5,000. So if you're dealing with units, when you're measuring the degree of combined leverage, financial leverage, or any other, those one you can, if given in percentage in the question, you can give them in as number of times. So that is it. We can now look at Roman number 2, operating break-even quantity of the sales in units. So this Roman number 1, Roman number 2. Operating. So I'll just go with the operating whatever cost. My operating cost is this one. So the formula remains to be this way, but now fixed cost. So under operating, it will be simple. It will be fixed cost, which is 500,000. The other item remain the same. 500 minus what? 250. So how many units under operating? Is 2,000 units. As simple as that. No complication, no complexity. So that is it. Then we go to the degree of operating leverage. And I want somebody to remind us the formula of getting the degree of operating leverage formula. Because here we're just working with formulas. The degree of operating leverage. We say that it is given by the percentage change in what? Percentage change in somebody. This one I just expect you to give me so that it is sticking in your mind. Degree of percentage change in, is it EBIT? EBIT divided by degree of percentage change in sales, right? So it is the percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in sales. So unaangalia tu, what was the percentage change in sales? You just look at the what examiner gave you. Percentage change in EBIT. Percentage change in EBIT from the question. Ni ngapi? 15%. Can you see what they have told you? 15%. So it is 15% divided by percentage change in sales. So sales are said to be to increase to change by 10%. So 10%. If I look at this, 100 will cancel. I remain with 15 over 10, which will be equivalent to 1.5 times. 1.5 times. And then we go to the other one, DFL. We go to the DFL. DFL formula yake ni gani? Somebody to remind us the formula of degree of financial leverage. Still, degree of financial, give me the numerator. Numerator itakuwa ngapi? Numerator. Degree of financial leverage is DCL divided by DOL. Somebody It's percentage change in EPS. Yeah, percentage change in EPS over percentage change in what? EBIT. Yeah, it is percentage over percentage change in EPS over percentage change in what? EBIT. In EBIT. EBIT. And hapa tumesema inaweza kuwa pia earning before depreciation, interest and tax. It depends. So this will be, what is the percentage change in EPS? Naona mtu amepatia 12%. And the percentage change in EBIT, percentage change in EBIT. Now in the second instance is 10%, and this will be 1.2 times. So hii concept haikuwa ati complex ni vile. And then we have degree of combined leverage. So I want everyone to compute for me the degree of combined leverage, and then we move to the next part. Kindly compute for me. Compute for me the degree of combined leverage. Very fast. Compute for me. Migichi, watu wanapatia 1.8 because it's simple. We say that it is DOL times what? DFL. That is the concept. So it will be 1.5 times 1.2, which will give you 1.8 what? 1.8 times 1.8 times. So always try to just work with those figures, work with those formulas. Sometimes they can give you information to get the EPS, where that will be simple for you. Good. Let's look at another question in that paper. We can look at another question in that paper. See, we can look at another question in that paper. I want us to look at a question regarding the time value of money. It's just above that. I think it's part B. That's Joel Ouma. Is it okay for us to do that question? Is it okay for us to do that question? Joel Ouma. Okay. Joel, this under time value of money says that Joel Ouma needs 9 million in 5 years' time to purchase a house. He is determined to deposit a given amount of money each quarter in a sinking fund that earns interest at the rate of 12% compounded quarterly for 5 years. Required. Compute the amount of money that Joel Ouma should deposit in each quarter in a sinking fund so as to enable him realize 9 million in 5 years, like 5 months. So if you look at that question very well, examiner has already given us the future value. 9 million is the future value. The 9 million is the future value. True or false? True or false, class? 9 million is the future value. That's true or false? True or false? 9 million is the future value. I'm aware that examiner wants us to get the present value, whatever that we shall be depositing every year, in order to arrive at 9 million so that we can purchase what? A house. Joel Ouma. All right. So already we have our future value, which is 9 million. Present value class we don't have, but we have the rate. Rate ni ngapi? Rate ni ngapi? Lazima ametupea rate 12%. 12% compounded quarterly. Na tulisema kwamba compounded max kama hizi unapata haraka, hizi una save time nazo. Max kama hizi class una save time nazo very fast. Max kama hizi una save time nazo. So if it is compounded quarterly class, I would advise you to be doing this for the period. Period ni how much? Period ni miaka ngapi? Period is 5 years. Period is equal to 5 years. So I would advise just convert these things very fast. So for the period itakuwa 5 times 4, which will be 20 years. 20. No, just say 20, don't say years. Itakuwa 20. And then for the rate will be 12% over 4. Itakuwa ngapi? Ni 3%. 3%, si ndio? Yes, kwani. 3%. And now you come and remember the formula. This is we shall be dealing with the annuity, right? This is an annuity. So when compounding annuity class, we use the formula 1 plus R raised to n without negative minus 1 divided by R. When compounding what? Annuity. When compounding lump sum class, we use the formula 1 plus R raised to n without what? Negative. But when we go to the other side of the discounting, I'll remind you also how we do it. So with that, we can get our future value here. Future value is given by the present value times what? Times this annuity or PVIF. PVIF, of course, is a PVIF. 1 plus R raised to n minus 1 divided by what? R. So you can come and finish it here. So I already know my future value. I want to get 9 million at the end of the day. What will be my present value? Because that is what I'm looking at. And then 1.12. It should not be 1 to now already. I've just done what? Just divided raised to n, which is 20, raised to n, which is 20 minus 1, divided by what? 0.03. So can you give me this? So I can just say that my present value is equal to 9 million divided by this answer here, 1.03 raised to 20 minus 1 divided by what? 0.03. Now who can give me the present value? Can give me the present. Just use the calculator direct hapo na upate marks zako tano. This analysis is important to remind you. So what is the amount that Joel will be depositing? 334,946. So I'm waiting for several individuals to give me the results. 334,946,000. 334,946. I'm waiting for several individuals to give the finding. Najua hapa hiyo inasumbua, lakini it is always good to you can input the whole of this in your calculator. You can as well first of all work with the denominator. Numerator is known, it's simple. Correct. Gabriel anasema correct. 334 what, Gabriel? 334. 34. 946. Right. 946. That's right. Kuna watu bado wajapata. 946. So this is the amount of money that Joel will be depositing. Is that 941? Okay, it's 941. Those are either ukitumia ikiwa full figure, ukiput hiyo difference tatokea hapo kidogo. Tuone watu wapata nini hapa. Na text leo zinataka kupotea sana hizi. 334, 941. 941. 334, 941. 941. 941. In mambo tuna the decimal point using the whole figure, if you input probably the whole thing, I think itapatia more kidogo, but all in all, that would be the amount, 946. So whichever 941 or 946, that would be okay. That would be okay. So ukitumia the whole figure ndio inakupatia hii, si ndio? Ukisha input 9 million divide by hiyo, weke ma brackets zako, ndio inakupatia hiyo ya 941 when the denominator become this. Yes, ukiinput yote sasa. To be very accurate, tafadhali, to be very accurate, weka input yote kwa calculator, sababu the moment some decimal point umeondoa vitu kadhaa, unakuta kwamba accuracy hapa itakuwa chini kidogo, lakini utapata maki yako, kwa sababu tushaona kwamba usawa huku na formula uko sawa. Tusema formula ni sawa, tuandike formula sawa huko hata hapa kwa sawa. So utapata marks zako, Great. Class, that is it. That is it regarding that. Oh, I was to remind you on the discounting. You've looked at compounding, discounting. It's always good to remind you of this discount. So class, if you look at discounting of a lump sum, we are trying to find the present value. Here we want to determine the present value of a lump sum. Is 1 plus R raised to what? Negative n. Tunairudisha nyuma of an annuity. Then if you want to get the present value of an annuity, you use 1 minus 1 plus R raised to negative n divided by what? R. I hope you can see that this one is different. Tunachukua ni vice versa ya hii. Hizi formula ni kama zinafanana, only that una reverse kidogo. Kama hizi sasa, hii iko reversed. One ndio inatoa hapa, one ndio inatoa hizi. So you should note when discounting and when you are compounding. Na hapa compounding kama ingekuwa semi-annually class, kumbuka kwamba hapa tunge multiply by 2, hapa tunge divide by 2. So yeah, it depends. Semi is 1/2, chukua base. Quarterly 1/4, chukua base. To be very clear. Anything else that we need to look at? Anything else we need to look at? Then we said topic kama emerging issue, like question number 1, 5A, hiyo ni emerging issue. That's application question. Outline 5-factor driving financial innovation in respect to in the recent past. So what are some of the factors that you think are driving to financial innovation? Can you just give me several? This is a application question. Emerging issue, ile topic yetu ya mwisho inakupatia kama hizo. So can you give me several factors that are leading or driving to financial innovation? Why is innovation increasing in the recent past? Sorry, give me some of the technological advance. Yes, yeah, that is a strong point. That's a strong point. Kitambo hakukuwa mambo mingi, hakukuwa vitu kama M-Pesa, hakukuwa hizi hakukuwa ma-M-Pesa. So transaction pia zilikuwa chini. Lakini due to the increase in transaction, innovation lazima ikue ili to cater for to make sure that control is enhanced. Control and safety is enhanced. So innovation lazima ikue pale. Then they also need to reduce the cost. Yeah, to cut on cost on maybe the agency cost. They need to innovate. They need to competition. Yeah, competition, 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 competition. Competition is also a point to note, a point to note. Then regulatory and legislative changes, increase in taxes. Yeah, regulatory and legislative changes, which lead to volatility of interest rate and exchange rate. So that's also a point. That's also a point. The changes. There's changes in the legislative. It will lead to that. Then economic growth. The world economic growth. The world economic growth. The world economic growth. Then there is that existing opportunities and increase in what? In liquidity of assets. Existing opportunity and increase in liquidity of assets. So those are some of the points that or factor that lead to what? To the increase in innovation in the recent past. So I think we should remind ourselves. We should remind ourselves on. What? On this topic of valuation, business valuation. If but all business valuation, but all you are comfortable, we can remind ourselves something on under business valuation. True or false? True or false? Business valuation. Okay, let's just remind ourselves, because I think those were among the first topics that we covered. So if we remind ourselves on the same, they could be better to refresh our mind. Acha tuangalie hiyo swali yoyote yenye itakuwa pale. So let me look at a question that will guide us on the same. Let me look at a question that will guide us on the same. Okay, yeah, I'll found one. Let's look at that question. We're just reminding ourselves several things that we did. We remind ourselves and see tutafanya namna gani, kuwa namna gani, tunakuwa tunafanya namna gani, ile tu kuileta on top of our mind, to bring it on top of our mind. It's here already. It's already with you. So I hope it has opened on your end. I hope it has opened on your end. So let's look at question number 1C. Let's look at question number 1C. Tujikumbushe vitu hapa kidogo kidogo. Najua zingine zinasaulika, but once you remind yourself, it become easy. Chigiri Limited is a private company which intends to be listed in Security Exchange. The company has recently made a dividend issue of 3.2 per share. This dividend is expected to grow at a rate of 15% per annum for 2 years, then drop to 12% per annum for the next 3 years. Thereafter, the dividend will grow at 6% per annum indefinitely. The required rate of return is 11%, determine the intrinsic value of the share. So you can see the number of marks. That's not a small question. It's a very nice question. A very nice question. We need to compute the intrinsic what? Intrinsic value. Intrinsic value. So, class, if you remember, first of all, we need to have the year column there. Then D1, somebody to remind us how you are getting D1. Najaribu kuleta things karibu kidogo. Things karibu kidogo. D1, how are we getting D1? Somebody to remind us just how we are getting D1. That will be better for us, D1. That is expected dividend. It's equal to D naught 1 plus asante. Yes, those are things that you need to remember. D naught is given by D naught 1 plus G. Then from there you are getting what? If of course it will be 11%. Then you get the present value. So muhimu sana ukipatana na swali kama hiyo ukumbuka hii. Muhimu sana ukipatana na swali kama hiyo ukumbuka hii. Asante. So in this case, I have year 1 to 6, year 3, 4, 5, and then 6 ni ya mwisho itaenda up to infinite. So I'm told year 1 to 2, what will be the percentage, what will be the change or the growth? Year 1 to 2. Ambiwa kwamba kuna the dividend is expected to grow at 15%, right? Hiyo itagrow na 15% hapa. Year 3 to 5, it's growing at 12%. And then the infinite is growing at 6%. 6% hapo. So I just know that my current dividend is 3.2. So it will grow with 1.15. So usimpatie hiyo growth ya mwaka ya kwanza. Yaani, hizi vitu ukisha kumbuka venye zinafaa kwenda inakuwa easier. So nipatie hiyo growth ya mwaka ya kwanza. Mwaka ya kwanza hapa. Mwaka ya kwanza. Let's scroll that. 3.2 is the one you're multiplied by 1.15. See your growth. 3.68. Mwaka ya pili sio ndio itagrow. Na ina grow na 1.15. Haya, patie mwaka ya pili. And you should do it from your end. Itakuwa easier. 4.23. These are things nataka tuzipitie. Tunajikumbusha tu class. Haina maneno hii. Haina maneno. Hii ni kujikumbusha, hakuna hatia nini. Hapana. Hakuna mambo mgeni hapa. Kama iko mambo mgeni kweli. Hii ina increase na 12%. 4.23. Asante. Nipatie hiyo ya mwaka ya tatu. Ina increase na 12%, 4.74. Inajua mahali nitawashikia nione kama watu wamekuwa wakirevise. Tajua tu. 1, 2. Tajua mahali nitawashikia. Haya. Hii ya mwaka wa 4. Mwaka wa 4. 5.31. 5.31. Mwaka wa 5. Mwaka wa 5. Sasa I want somebody to remind me, to tell me 6 to infinite. Tutapata namna gani? Tutapata namna gani? You can remind us here. There was a very nice formula, a very beautiful formula that we were using. Na hapa ndio sasa shida inakuaga hapo. Ukifika hapo unakuwa kumbuka kwamba kuna ile ya ranges, naona sasa kuna Gabriel sasa. Gabriel, you are bringing us to the point. You are bringing us to the speed. Despite the previous, I hope people can remember what you are trying to say during that time. KE minus what? Minus KE minus G. I hope people are able to remember that. Yes, exactly, Muchama. Megiti, yes, exactly. Kindly remember. You are 1 over R. I think I need also to remind you such. Taangalia kama hata ipo kwa hii. Taangalia swali. And look at the question. So can you use this formula and give us the D1 for this? 1 for this. For infinite. Itumia hiyo formula. So B5 already tumepata 5.95. 5.95. 1.06 divided by 0.11, 0.06. So unapata ngapi? Unapata ngapi? Unapata ngapi? Hiyo ndio tunaleta hapa sasa tuweze kusonga. How much are you getting? 126 points. So hiyo ndio tunaleta. Kindly usisahau hiyo. Then we get the PVF. PVF 11%. Itakuwa 0 point. PVF 11%. Let's move with speed. Na kuna mtu network inamsumbua pale. I don't know why. It's somebody. Network inamsumbua sana. So 0 point. PVF. Hii tulisema unaweza tumia kaka haraka 1 plus R. 1 plus R. This to negative L. Yaani hivyo haraka. So PVF ya kwanza. PVF kwanza. That means that is 1 point what? 1.11 raised to negative 1. 90.09. Nipatie ya pili, wacha tusonge tu faster. I want us to do more today. 81.16. Yeah, hiyo ingine next one. Tunasonga vizuri, tunaenda vizuri. 73.12. Make sure you are rounding off. Make sure that una round off. Yeah, hiyo ingine sasa tuko almost done. Tupatie mwaka 4. 65.87. Mwaka ya tano. I like this with this. That speed is very good. Let me see. This is Rinda. That is very good. 59.35. Asante. 59.35. I want somebody to tell me what will be the PV for my year 6 to infinite. PV. Drop. That is what I was waiting. I was waiting for that word. Drop. You drop what is there in the previous year. So can you give me the present value? Itakuwa tu, you pick this one, you multiply. 3.68 times that, you multiply. I wish that kila mtu ananipatia hizi. I wish that kila mtu ananipatia hizi. Simtupatia kwanza. Just multiply this times this. To 2 decimal place. 2 decimal places. 3.32. Yeah. 3.32. Tusonge hivyo. Remember nataka tufanye vitu mob. Nataka tujikumbushe. Ni kujikumbusha hata. 4.3. Haya, hiyo ingine. Nasonga vizuri. Hiyo ingine. Asante. 3.47. We almost done. Year 4. Mwaka wa 4. But our intrinsic value here. Mwaka wa 4. 3.50. Watano. 3.40. 3.53. Na ya mwisho itakuwa mingi kidogo. You obvious to infinite. Obvious expect to get mingi kidogo. 74.86. Patie our intrinsic value summation. Sum all this, you add. Summation, you add all those. Patie intrinsic value. Nakuwa ngapi? $92.1. Mkono juu, watu walikuwa wamesahau lakini sasa wamekumbuka. Mkono juu. Kwa wale walikuwa wamesahau lakini sasa wamekumbuka. Mkono juu. Kwa wale walikuwa wamesahau lakini wamekumbuka sasa. Mkono juu kwa wenye walikuwa wamesahau lakini wamekumbuka. Mkono juu. Jennifer. Wacha tukumbuke. All right, let's go to part this is question 2. Question 2 part C. We also need to remind ourselves something under that. Question 2 part C. Question 2 part Muchama. Mambo ni mengi. Unajua mambo ni mengi. Sasa hizi zilikuwa among the first things zenye tulianza nazo. So you can really forget. You can tend to forget kwa sababu sasa mambo ni mengi. Mambo ni mengi. Lakini we are here to remind each other. So let's look at question 2. Oh guys, you are able to do question 2C. Are you able to do question 2C? 2C. Look at 2C. Angalia hiyo swali vizuri and then tell me whether you can remember. 2C. 4D. Naona watu wameanza kusema 4D. Kumbuka. So let's look at 2C. 2C. James Chiwende is considering the purchase of a 4-year 1200,000 per value bond. The bond has a coupon interest rate of 10% per annum. The investor's required rate of return is 8%, and we are told to get the current value of the bond. So to see the current value of the bond. The current value of the bond. So I just remind you that examiner akikuuliza anakuuliza market value, anakuuliza intrinsic value, and the formula was simple. We were starting with interest. You get interest, and then you discount this interest, and the interest is an annuity. Sawa. How many years? 4 years. Which percentage? The rate. The cost of whatever. Ni ngapi? 8%. 8%. And then you plus redemption value, when you wanakumbuka redemption value, and then this one you are discounting. For the redemption value class, you are discounting using PVIF or PVIFA. Redemption value. It's a lump sum, so we discount using PVIF. It is a one-time what? So we get the interest. The interest will be given by 10%. 10% of 1200,000 times 1 minus 1.08 raised to a negative 4 divided by 0.08 plus redemption value is the same as the par value, 12 million, 1.2, yeah, times 1.08 raised to a negative 4. And by doing that tumemalizana na hiyo. So mwanzo hapa tuko na 1200, interest ya 12 ni 120,000 ama 1200, 120,000, ndio, times what is the PVIFA? PVIFA hii chapa hii PVIFA inapatia nini? Chapa hii PVIFA. Wait a minute. Okay. PVIFA ukichapa unapata nini? PVIFA 3 point what? Hii tulikuwa nayo 3121. 3.3121. Then you add 1.2, which is 1200,000 times. Hiyo nayo ukichapa hapa, tumefuta 1.08 raised to negative 4. Hiyo PV 0.735. Sasa tupate intrinsic value hapa, total ya hiyo intrinsic value total ya hiyo intrinsic value. Intrinsic value mnapata ngapi? Intrinsic value mnapata ngapi? Intrinsic value mnapata 1290, 12,452, 79, 1279, 452. I hope still umekumbuka hiyo. I hope still umekumbuka hiyo. I hope still umekumbuka hiyo. Oops. Yeah, I hope umekumbuka hiyo. One person is the one giving us this. What about the rest? Umepata nini? Yenu ni nini? Yenu ni gani? Yenu ni gani? Yenu ni gani? Yeah. It's correct. Correct. All right, no worries. Then somebody was requesting question 4D. These are the capital reasoning. The capital reasoning. And the capital reasoning. And the capital reasoning. And from the other past paper that we had, ile question number one, see, I know hiyo mko sawa. Hiyo inakuwa complex kidogo, but I know mko sawa. Hiyo najua mko sawa. Hiyo najua mko sawa. But still there's another concept nimekumbuka, we also need to remind ourselves. It's another concept. I look at that question. Let's first of all look at this. We remind ourselves on this. This is Laika. Laika Limited has identified 5 investment projects with the following details. Investment project A to E. Then we have initial outlay. We have net present value of investment surplus. And then at a given point umepatana na hii swali kama hii. Una swali kama hii. Ukipatana na swali kama hii, what you do is that you first of all need to get the formula. We did question 4D in the kama tumefanya hiyo gang, tusonge now to the hii paper haina WM. WM is not that common. WM is not that common. Iko na WACC. Can you guys, let me give you some few minutes. You try question number 2A. So wewe Muchama, can you lie us with the gang? Hiyo swali tulifanya. Hatuwezi sasa india tena saa hii. Hatukufanya kweni hawa watu ama watu ni wenye hawaku attend class. Sasa kama namna Kirubo, wewe uliingia lini? Sasa mnataka aje tufanye tena? Hatukufanya. Wewe gang, tulifanya lini? Gang, tulifanya lini? Have we done that really? Okay, we are trying to remind ourselves. So, can we do it? Tufanye tena. We have not. Okay, we did it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it then. Wacha tujikumbushe whether we did it. Let's remind ourselves, and then I give you some few minutes. I want to know whether you guys are able to remember the WACC concept. But before then, let's look at a 4D. Let's look at a 4D. Where is the 4D? Where is that? Imepotea tena. Yeah, it's here. So Laika Limited is has identified 5 investment projects with the following details. So we have investment project A to E, then initial outlay and net present value of the investment. No worries, girl. No worries. Just agree with you, and we're doing revision. Hakuna shida. Gang, just agree and we move. They're not opposing. We agree. Gang, are we together? Yes. They just want to refresh. Sawa. They just want to refresh. They just want to refresh their mind. So class capital reasoning. So we say that it is always good to check what examiner has given you. When you look at this question very well, examiner gave us the initial outlay as well as the net present value, the NPV, net present value and the initial outlay. And we have additional information. None of the investment project could be delayed. Amount of available for investment is limited to 300 million. Therefore, the company cannot undertake all the investment projects. All the 5 projects are divisible. Advise the management of Laika on the most appropriate investment project to undertake. That means we shall be ranking these projects, according to their what? To their profitability. And therefore, that I advise you to use what? The profitability index method. And to get the profitability index, that we know that is given by the present value over initial outlay. What the examiner did not tell you is that the present value is hidden. The present value is hidden. So you can have this project. You can have this project. You can have initial outlay. We can have NPV, and these are in million. Shillings are in million. So project A, B, C, D, and E. So initial outlay for any gapping. Initial outlay, let's say to come from that end. It will be easier for me. Initial outlay in gapping. Give me initial outlay 120. Next one. 160. Ingine tusonge tu hivyo, it will be easier. Or 90 na 100, 90, 100. Fanye tu. Ya mwisho 110. Asante. Haya. And then NPV, net present value ya kwanza 190, 110. 190, 110. Inafuatana hivyo. Salome. 190, 110 iko sawa? 190, 110 sawa. Haya, sawa. So give me the net present value venye tu wamepeana pale. Ya kwanza ya A. 4. 24. Is it 24, 43.2? 24, 43.2. Next one. Hiyo ingine nipatie ya tatu. 17. Ya nne tumalizie. Nataka tumalize tufanye kitu kingine. 21.6 tumalize tu 19.8. So class, if you look at the formula of getting profitability index, and we shall be getting profitability index so that we are able to rank these projects according to their true profitability. This will give you the true profitability of the project. Now we need the present value divided by what? Initial outlay. But in our question hapa hakuna present value, but we can get present value because we know that NPV, net present value, is given by present value minus initial outlay. Sasa tunaweza pata hii. Tunaweza pata present value. So present value yetu itakuwa NPV plus initial outlay. So wacha tupate column nyingine hapa ya present value. So present value ya kwanza ni 144. Class, do you agree? Do you agree that our present value is 144? Sasa nipatie hizo zingine. Ya pili, hiyo ingine. 203.2. Nataka tukue hapa. Next 117. Hiyo ingine asante. 117 sawa. Next one. Hii tuko hapa sasa. 11.6. Na ya mwisho tupate ya mwisho tumalizane na hiyo stari. 129.8. Asante. So we all agree that that is our what? Present value. Now, can we get our PI? and get our PI because we know it's given by PV of our initial output. So can we get the profitability index so that we are able to rank this project? So nipatie PI ya kwanza ya A, ya project A. It is present value which is 144 divided by the initial what? Initial output. So kitu inakuguide ni formula 1.2. 1.2. Ya pili. So to 2 decimal point itakuwa mzuri 1.27. Haya, ingine sasa 1.17. Mimi ndiye mnafanya hii by the way and you are doing it well. So na mwenye hafuati, mwenye haweki hizo namba pale. Alafu make sure that at least you are able to grab. Give me the last one. The last one. It is 1.18. So class, according to the PI, which project is the most profitable? Which project? Ni gani ina rank number 1? Kwa sababu tunataka ranking hapa. Cha kwanza ni adjust hapa kidogo. Tunaweza weka ranking hapa. Rank. Weka rank hapo. Rank. I hope it's visible. So mtu ameniambia B ina rank number 1. Yeah. This will rank number 1. Haya. Number 2. Project yenye profit yake iko ni hii. C, yeah? C ina rank number 2. Ama? C. Hai? Oh, hiyo ndio D. Hiyo ni D. Okay, ni sawa tu. Ni 2. Oh, ni 2 ni D. Sawa. Then number 3, project yenye profit yake iko juu kidogo ni this, Sindio? Hai. Ni E. Si 20 iko juu ya ni. Alafu this rank number 4. Alafu hii ndio project ina rank number 5. Sasa under capital rationing, you look at the amount of money that you have. Kama manager umepewa hiyo pesa, enda undertake those projects. So the amount of money that we have class, the amount of money that we have ni pesa ngapi? Tuko na pesa ngapi? The budget, pesa iko ngapi? Yeah, 300 million. Sasa you ask yourself, this 300 million, my friend, you have to budget and say that we must first of all undertake the most profitable project. Yani we look for the priority. You come hapa, useme, mmeniambia hii ndio the most profitable. So B, so project hapa. So unazipanga kulingana na, I need to adjust kidogo. Acha to adjust hapa kidogo, already you have the information. So project hapa, so most profitable ni B. Hiyo ndio tutaanza ku undertake. Then D. Unazipanga, then followed by A. Unapanga A hapa, followed by E. Panga E hapa, na followed by C. Unaweka C hapa. Sawa. So hizo project tushazipanga according to their true profitability. Profitability. So what is the amount required, initial outlay required for each project? B, amount required is 160 million. Of course, this is the shillings are in million, Niweke hapa million. Shillings are in million. Aya, next one ni D. D tunalikuwa 110. Next one is A, tunalikuwa 120. Next one is E. E ndio 110. Mbona D na confuse? D ni 90. D ni 90 class. D ni 90. I hope you see that. Yeah, D ni 90, asante. E ndio na ya mwisho ni C 100. Sasa you get cumulative what? Cash flow. I know I have 300 million. So we take easy project according to their profitability. Zenye zitabaki next budget tutafanya nini? Tutazifanya. So 160 hapa. Hiyo imeenda. So kwa nini tumerest 160 already? Tumebaki na pesa kidogo. Hii nayo tukiongeza ni 250, si ndio? Tumetoa 90 tena. Tukikuja hapa imebaki 50. Plus, hii 50 hata haitoshi nini? Haitoshi the amount that we require for project A to be fully undertaken. Haitoshi. Lakini according to the question pale, examiner ametuambia nini? Let's see. All the 5 projects are divisible. Yeah, all the 5 projects are divisible. So if they are divisible, that means you can undertake a project partially. So hii project tulikuwa na 50 million na total tulikuwa tunahitaji gapi? 120, lakini haijatosha. So tuone percentage ya nini? Ya project completion. Project completion. So which percentage of project A will be completed? Which percentage of project A will be completed? 41.7%. So as the project manager, unapeleka hii report. Unasema, I managed to complete project B. I managed to complete project D, and partially 41% of project 41.7% of project A was completed. But due to insufficient fund, I was not able to even start project E and C. Are we now together? Tuko pamoja wenye tulisema tujikumbushe. Are we now together? Good. Class days concept, kuna concept fulani ilikuwa kwa another past paper. I wanted us to look at. Oh, no. About the WACC class. Would you mind? Now, this is a matter of time. This is a matter of time. If you look at question 2C, 2A, 6 marks. 2A, 6 marks. Kama 20 marks. Hapa nataka kuona tu timing yenu iko aje. Kama 20 marks question unafaa kumalizia na 36 minutes. What about 6 marks? Nataka kutest your speed hapa. So this is 36 times 6 divided by 20. Hiyo ndaka ngapi? Ni 9. Kama ni 10. Around there. So why can't you test yourself? Nataka tu nione ni 10. It is 6:43. By 6:53, kindly nipatie tu answer the WACC pale haraka. And I assure you by the end of the day utakuwa sawa as far as speed is concerned. So kindly take the lead. That question 2A. Hizi ndizo vitu zenye tunasema kwamba they are common in exam. So can you take the lead and finish up that? So by 6:54, I expect to see some answers. I hope you can be able to gauge your speed. I hope you can be able to gauge. Now among the 3, okay, tuko na 1 day, kuna mmoja amejiongeza pale. All right, sawa. You can gauge your time, your speed. Gauge your speed because hiyo ndio speed unahitajika kuwa nayo kwa mtihani, hiyo speed sasa. So for the remaining time, uzuri financial management ndio itakuwa ya mwisho kule. Haya. Sasa tunataka tuone kati ya wamekuja kadhaa, sawa? Wamekuja kadhaa, hiyo ni mzuri. Kati ya wale wenye wametuma answer zao pale, we need to confirm something. Have you managed to utilize the essay speed and accuracy thing? That's what we need to look at here. So these are questions that really so need to trace it. So this is a question on weighted average cost of capital, and I think you can give me these figures very fast. I think I don't even need to because I know that the first thing I need to have is the cost of capital. Cost of capital, and I'm going to start with the KE, and I know the formula of KE is DO 1 plus G divided by PO, which is the market price, plus G. So class, what is our DO? Do we have the DO from the question? Where's our DO? Give me the DO very fast. DO, somebody? 2. 1 plus, what is our G? wa G 0. G tumepewa, hizo vitu umepewa pale. G ni 0.1, okay. Divide by PO, market price ya ordinary share. Hapo unaangalia ordinary share, KE and ordinary share. 80 plus 0.1. What is our KE class? Maybe you can give it as a percentage, as a decimal. Percentage sawa, patia. What is our KE? 12.75. Tumemalizana, mark that one. Then we go to the KD, the cost of debenture. First of all, you identify the type of debenture that you're dealing with. Is it redeemable debenture? Is it redeemable debenture? Redeemable or irredeemable? Irredeemable. So class tulisema kwamba kujikumbusha tu, this is where you have the number of period. Number of period. Kama huna number of period, is irredeemable. Is irredeemable. Do we have number of period? It is irredeemable. So if it is irredeemable, the formula is interest of a market value, then you adjust for what? You adjust for tax. You adjust for tax. So let's get the interest. What is the interest rate? The interest rate in ngapi? Interest rate in ngapi? Interest rate in ngapi? Sympathetic interest rate. 12%. So it is 12% of par. Always remember, par value in ngapi? Interest 12% of par, 100. Divide by market value. Lazima umepewa market value class. Market value of the debenture 90. And then you do what? Times 1 minus, I think tax is 30%. 1 minus 30% of 0.3. So this will be 12 over 90. 12 over 90 times 0.7 times 0.7. Ni ngapi? 9.33. Is that the whatever? 9.3%. Asante. Then class, we move to the next one. Sorry. We move to the next one, which is KP, the cost of preference share. The cost of preference share. Cost of preference share. Very fast we get to the KP, which is given by preference dividend over what? The market value. Preference dividend over the market value. So what is the interest? 10%. Not interest, but dividend. The rate of preference share. 10% of par. What is the par? Hapo ndio watu wengi ukosea. 20 divide by the market value. Market value ngapi? Market value ya hii ni 20 pia. Ala, 20. Ni 30. So what is the KP? The cost of preference share. Ni ngapi? And then next one tutaenda kwa weights. Uzito. 6.7%. Asante. We go to the weight. Wengine wataita proportion. Whichever, but remember that we need the weight of what? We have the sources hapa. Na tumeacha reserve kwa nini? We are looking at a WACC, not WMCC. Sawa. It is ignored. So tuko na audience share. Tuko na 12% debenture. Debenture sawa, naweza iandika hivyo. Tuko na 10% preference share. So class, tukiwa hapa, unakuja hapa unapata you can get your what? Your value of ordinary share. What is the value of ordinary share? Value of ordinary share using the current market price of 80. So first of all, we get the number of ordinary share. Can you give me the value of ordinary share kwa capital structure pale? Ordinary share ilikuwa na ngapi? 40,000, which is, I think it was million. Divide by the par value, 100. And then times the market price, which is what? 80. Hiyo itapatia kitu. Twende kwa debenture, patia. What is the value? 32,000. I hope unipatie total. Debenture, is it 32? Yes. Is it 32? Debenture? Ama hii ni total? 25. So total, I think hii ni total wananipatia 32,000 sawa. Kama hiyo ni 32,000 sawa. So debenture ni 25,000. Tunataka tuweze kuangalia wa speed. And the par I think was still, the par was 100 times 90 times 90. Hiyo inapatia ngapi? I think itakuwa sawa. Tukisonga hivyo. 22,500. You guys are good. Then preference share hapa ni kwa ngapi? Value kwanza divide we convert 20K, 20,000 divided by 20. 20 was per, 20 was per, I remember, times 30. Pata ngapi? Pata ngapi? Tupate hiyo, tuchape hiyo haraka haraka. Hiyo speed ndio tunataka 30,000. Then you get the total to get the proportion or the weight. Sasa kupata weight hapa mwisho. Haya, patie total pale, patie total pale. Patie total 84,500. So this is 84,500. So tulisema 2 decimal point ni sawa 0.0.0 point. Patieni hiyo weight ili nipate wakaka hapa ACC. So napata 38. Next one ya pili 27 ya mwisho 36. Asante. Na tulisema kwamba ukiongeza hiyo inapatia 1. So weight over equity, cost over equity, weight of equity, cost of equity, plus weight over debt, cost over debt, plus weight over preference share, cost over preference share. Sasa si niko na hizo zote, naweka pale zote kwa sababu I need to save time here. I just start with weight ziko hapa, weight ndizo hizi 0.38 times 0.1275 plus ya pili 0.27 times 0. Iko wapi? 0.93 plus ya mwisho ni 0.36 times 0.067. So class, ukichapa hiyo to 2 decimal points, to 2 decimal place ama za percentage unapata ngapi? 9.76. Sasa you can have for yourself. I saw these answers, nilizipata 9.7, niliona watu wametuma hizo, and if you sent this at the right time, naona kwamba your speed, your accuracy is okay, and that would mean you pass. Sawa. So hiyo ndio tuna test kwamba mtu ako sawa. You relate everything, your mind, your calculator, what you are writing down, iko sawa. So if you got this, you can really appreciate yourself. You can really you need to appreciate yourself. That is very good. That is very good. So class, I think that marks the end of our today's session. And the end of our semester. Good. End of our semester. And having done that, maybe you can mention some of the things that you need to be very keen of. Anything to do with the replacement, kindly check. That is under capital budgeting. Replacement concept, you need to look at working capital management under receivable. It's also important. Capital structure, this one, the introduction to capital structure, decision, time value of money, you need given concept of the time value of money. Then we have valuation, business valuation. Business valuation still is also important for you to remember the concept. Islamic finance, you need to know some of the terms and their meaning, like injala, mudaraba, takafu. You need just to know what it means, and that will really be good. Tutapatana na max kama 5 za kudefine those terms. Some of those terms. So just go through them and try to understand the emerging trend or issues. That one is application, personal finance management. How do you make sure that after you retire, you have a good life, How do you manage? How do you budget? How do you plan for your retirement? We say that when we are planning for our retirement, we need to cater or to look for 2 things. You have to save. After you save, you do what? You invest. You save, you invest. You save, you invest. After that, you get some returns. You'll be getting some returns. Then we have that topic of financial statement analysis. Financial statement analysis. You need to know how you analyze financial statement using vertical analysis, horizontal analysis, and also ratios. We also have the percentage of sales. By the way, go and look at what we did under the analysis of financial statement under percentage of sales method. Under percentage of sales method, remind yourself those ratios, and also how we analyze what? The financial statement using vertical analysis. What's the common thing that you need to remember when you are analyzing using the vertical method? Analysis of financial statement using the vertical method. Class, you give me 3 minutes to maybe finish up this. Tulisema unaangalia nini? Tulisema nini unaangalia? Because we have just one thing. When it comes to income statement, we say that you need to look at the sales or the revenue. All the other items are given as a percentage of what? Sales or revenue. That is under income statement. Under balance sheet, they are given as a percentage of what? As a percentage of total asset. Please remember that. Horizontal. When you talk about horizontal, remember you'll be having several financial year of a certain company. Maybe you can say 2020, 2021, 2020, 2021. Examiner will start for you 2021, 2020. Examiner atakupatia hivi. Examiner hatakupatia direct, atakupatia hivi ili iweze confuse kidogo. Examiner atakupatia 2021, 2020. Sasa wewe huwa unakuja hapa na una another column. So you type everything, or you repeat what examiner has given you. Unaangalia kama kuna increase ama decrease. So for example, revenue hapa tuseme hii ni revenue, hapa ilikuwa 700, hapa ni 2000. Hii tulisema kwamba percentage inaweza kuwa mingi sana. So percentage let me just go with 200 to make it not so complex. So you just look at previous year tulikuwa na revenue ngapi? Ya 200. This year, the 2021, the current year, we are having a revenue of 700. Class, you ask yourself, is it an increase or a decrease? Is it an increase in revenue or a decrease? It is an increase of, thank you so much, Salome. You have even completed an increase of 500, and then you find the percentage increase or decrease. If it was a decrease, just show the decrease hapa by putting a bracket. So the percentage increase itakuwa 500 over the base year itakuwa ile previous 200 times 100. Hii ni more than 100%. Itakuwa ngapi? What is the percentage increase? More than 100. Hapa tulisema unaweza pata a percentage which is more than 100%. Sasa, I hope you can relate and remember what we said about that. Then theory question, theory topic, like topic number 1, overview of financial management. You need to know something to do with agency principal agent relationship, and things to deal with the shareholder, things to deal with the shareholders, wealth maximization, profit maximization, know the difference. Then we have financial institution and market. That is topic number 3, and we have topic number 2. Topic number 2 is about financing decision. Kindly have an overview of those topics. Just have the concept of what the topics entails. So for you to understand, theory is just through reading. You read more. From now to Thursday, class. I know you'll be having time to review all those things. And that is it. I don't think I have anything else to add. Only to remind you that when it comes to labeling your questions, kindly remember that we expect you to label the question according to how you have done them inside your answer booklet. So label the question according to how you have done them. So you can start with any question. There's no method of we don't follow chronological order of doing the question. You can start with the question number 5. It depends with which question is easier for you. Remember what we say that you do or you start with a question that is simple and easy for you. The question that is easy answer. I just repeat this again. This question number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Just repeat this. So we say that the first thing is to start with the analysis of the question. You analyze and find that this question you can get 15 marks. This question you can get 8 marks. This you can get 9. This you can get 20. This you can get 19. So class, when you go to answering the question, you start with the question that suits you better. So question number 4 is the one you start with. So at the answer booklet, at the cover page, please come and indicate question number 4 there. We have found people indicating that hapa iandamane 2, 3, 4, 5. Unaona ameandamanisha, lakini kule ndani alianza na question number 4. Unajua what happened? We have a marking scheme. We just look at this arrangement. So we open answer for number 1, and then we go and start marking. So when marking, you identify that huyu kumbe ali confuse kila kitu. So huyu anapata 0 kwa hii paper yote, sababu ame confuse. Ni gani ina line hapa sasa? So hii inafaa kuwa question 4. Answer za hii zenye ameweka inafaa kuwa za 4, lakini examiner akona vitu tofauti, akona number 1. Haya, number 2 nayo, number 2 tunafaa kuwa number 5. Haya, hiyo pia ni 0. Hapo ndio unaanguka hata kama ni chopi. Hapo na wakatia siri ya vile watu waanguka. Number 3, I expect turudi hapa kwa number 1. Number 1 ndio hiyo answer. Examiner atafungua answer za number 3. Haya, next sasa tufanye 3 hapa. Hiyo ndio itakuwa 3. Na sasa number 2 ndio iko mwisho. Sasa huyu mwanafunzi amepata 0. Si kumaanisha kwamba mwanafunzi hakuwa anajua, hapana, instruction tu ndio hakufuata instruction, hakuweza kulabel vizuri. So even don't label. If you don't label inside, don't label outside. Don't label inside, don't label outside. Don't label kwa sababu haitasaidia. Kilabel kama hujalabel inside sasa itakuwa ngumu. Lakini wakati mwingine ukilabel outside na inside hujalabel, wakati mwingine unaweza angukia tu na upate kwamba unapata, kwa sababu tutafuatanisha tu kulingana na chenye iko hapo juu. So hii ni mira yenye inatusaidia kuweza kumeka wa work easier uko ndani. Then ukiambiwa kwamba usiandike kwa margin, tafadhali usiandike kwa margin. Hiyo margin ni ya kuweka tu marks kidogo, tukimark marks kidogo. But you can write your numbers huko, unaandika namba. Hii margin ya huko, lakini margin ya kule usipitishe maandishi. Sasa hii inatupatia kazi ngumu. Tunaona your work is one day and inatupatia pia inconvenience, inatupatia kazi ngumu. Angalia kazi yako. What else? Simu, si unajua tu, those are some of the things that you know, that you're not supposed to go with the phone, you're not supposed to go with Kenya. Kama unataka kurepeat hii kitu kwa muda mrefu, unaenda na hizo vitu. Ukitaka kurepeat, kwa sababu kama sasa ukienda na hizo vitu kwa mtihani, si unarudishwa foundation level. Ukirudishwa foundation level, kwani hiyo ni step, umeenda mbele ama nyuma, umerudi nyuma. So make sure that you don't go with unwanted items in the exam. Have a good calculator yenye haitakusumbua, a ruler and and some 2 pens and a pencil and a rubber. Eat well. Make sure that you have peace with everyone. So class, I think that is marking the end of our today's session. I need to wish all of you best of luck or best wishes in your forthcoming exam. And today I'd like somebody to take through a word of prayer, a general word of prayer. Gang, are you ready? To take us through, uko kule majuu? Gang, are you ready to take us through La. Gang is not ready. I wanted a gent today. Amos, Amos wananyamaza sana jameni. Amos, who is Steve? Steve is here. Ayuko. Steve, are you in? Okay. Muchama, yes, Muchama. So Steve, I think you can pray for these people so that tuwaweke kwa mkono wa Mungu. Things happen, but with God everything is possible. Everything is possible. Unaweza kusoma and then mambo tu inatokea. So those are the things that we want to tell God to help us to overcome until we do the exam. So Muchama has been our class rep together with who? Muchama and who? Muchama and alikuwa Fatima, yes. We appreciate you guys. You've done a great job. So what we can wish is that for you guys to pass. Hiyo ndio tu kitu tunaweza wapatia. So Muchama, you can kick off.
Our Father, our Lord, thank you for giving it us since we done classes in this college. We are now set to examination. It will be Thursday next week. Lord God, ask for you with us. Make us to excel, that everyone will find. God, thank you for the lecturers who've been so supportive. May you keep giving them good health. Keep us in good condition the day, the examination, and the day thereafter. Thank you for your God with us. Thank you for you are out there. For it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen and amen. So can everyone say amen to that? Thank you so much, Muchama, Steve, known as Steve in the group. Thank you so much, and may God bless you too. May God bless you too. So guys, take courage to, I know this is not the first paper or exam that you're doing. You've done very many exams from nursery school up to this stage, and I know that you're going to make it. So the thing is, you take courage and you face this thing with courage. Not overconfidence, no, courage. Not overconfidence, courage. So that is it, class. Let's wind it at that point. Best wishes to all of you. Asante na mkuwe na wakati mwema. If you have any question, you can always reach at me. You can always reach at me. Wakati mwingine mambo ni mengi, lakini we shall overcome. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Goodbye. Asante.